It started on a Thursday afternoon. I was scrolling through social media when I saw her, my wife, Samantha, laughing in pictures with another man. At first, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. Not Samantha. Not after 10 years of marriage, shared dreams, late-night talks, and quiet Sunday mornings in bed. But there it was, undeniable. Her hand rested on his arm, her smile brighter than I'd seen it in years. The comments beneath the photos were playful, teasing, filled with inside jokes and references to weekends and dinners I hadn't been a part of. The realization hit me like a bucket of ice water. She had found someone else. And for the first time in years, I felt a strange mix of rage, heartbreak, and something I hadn't felt in a long time, clarity. I didn't call her. I didn't yell or confront her. Instead, I sat there and thought about every small betrayal I'd ignored. The flirty texts she dismissed as just friends, the late nights with coworkers, the subtle distance that crept into our marriage one quiet evening at a time. It was all training for this moment. Then it hit me. If she could walk away and find someone else, why couldn't I? Why couldn't I reclaim the power she had taken for granted? That's when I thought of Martin, her coworker and our neighbor. Married for 7 years, polite, friendly, a man who seemed devoted but distracted. His wife, Anna, was kind, quiet, the type of woman people overlooked. We'd exchange small talk at community gatherings, a few words here and there, nothing meaningful. But now there was opportunity. The next day, I made my plan, not out of spite, not out of petty revenge, but out of purpose. If Samantha could trade loyalty for excitement, then I could make a different kind of trade, one that restored balance. I reached out to Anna with a message that was calm, deliberate, and respectful. We need to talk about boundaries, choices, and the life you deserve. Her response came a few hours later. Curious, careful. She wasn't defensive, just intrigued. She didn't know the full story yet, but she could sense there was something underneath the surface. I arranged a meeting, nothing public or dramatic, just a quiet place where honesty could breathe. When we met, she was cautious but strong. There was a calm in her that I hadn't seen in years, a quiet resilience. We spoke carefully at first, polite conversation, testing boundaries. Then I told her the truth. I know about Samantha, I said softly. I know she's seeing someone, and I think you deserve to know what's been happening too. At first, Anna's expression was a mix of shock and disbelief, but then it shifted. Curiosity, maybe even recognition. I continued, life isn't always fair. People trade loyalty for temporary excitement, but that doesn't mean you or I have to be collateral damage. There's an opportunity here to reclaim our lives, to find our own peace. She didn't answer right away. The silence stretched between us, thick with understanding. Then she smiled, faintly but knowingly. She wasn't naive. She wasn't broken. She understood that sometimes balance has to be restored, not begged for. Over the next few days, we met again. Each time, the conversations grew deeper. There was no pretense, no false affection. Just two people honest with themselves and each other, rebuilding something real for what others had shattered. Anna wasn't looking to hurt anyone. She was tired of being invisible, and in her quiet strength, I found a mirror of my own forgotten self-worth. Meanwhile, Samantha continued her affair as if she lived in a world without consequences. She laughed, posted, smiled for cameras, thinking she had it all under control. I let her believe the illusion, because the truth was already shifting beneath her feet. Anna and I weren't just reacting. We were rebuilding. By the end of the week, everything had changed. Samantha still thought she was winning some unspoken game, but the board had already turned. Martin had grown distant, distracted. Anna had grown stronger, more confident. And me? I was no longer a man waiting for apologies. I had found clarity. Then came the confrontation. One evening, Samantha came home tense, her tone sharp, her voice trembling between anger and confusion. Daniel, what do you think you're doing? This isn't fair. I looked at her calmly, my voice steady. Fair? Life isn't about fairness. Samantha, it's about choices and consequences. You chose to walk away. You chose to lie. You chose someone else. I'm just choosing not to let that define me. She stared at me, stunned, as if realizing for the first time that the control she once had was gone. The tricks that used to work, the charm, the guilt, the tears, none of it mattered anymore. The power had shifted. In the weeks that followed, Anna and I grew closer. We didn't rush it. What we built wasn't revenge. It was renewal. We talked, laughed, healed. We found comfort in truth, not illusion. And with every passing day, the contrast between our lives and theirs grew sharper. Samantha had traded loyalty for excitement. I had traded pain for peace. She lost control. I found balance. When she finally realized the way of her choices, it was too late. The man she'd replaced me with had drifted away. The woman she'd ignored had found her strength. And I had found something better than revenge, self-respect. Sometimes life gives you a trade, a moment where your response defines everything that follows. Samantha found another man. But I found clarity, respect, and a woman who truly deserved my time and care. In the end, I didn't lose a wife. I lost a lie. And that's a trade I'd make every time.